Hello.
Good evening and welcome. So, my dear daughter,
I would first of all, this is because, wait, I've talked about the Front Bottom several times on this podcast. They're my favorite band,
yeah,
viewers of the Philip Whitley My Week This Week channel. You will never guess what happened. The gig I was going to got cancelled. It didn't get cancelled, it got moved from Sheffield to Oxford.
not very convenient for you.
No. And I know the music episode was last week, but also, Philip,
Yes, dear.
do you know what Spotify Wrapped is?
Do I know what Spotify Rap is?
Wrapped, like
Rap.
WRAPPED.
Wrapped as in Christmas present? No, I don't.
It's a yearly thing that Do you know what Spotify is?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking. A yearly thing that Spotify does
Yeah.
where it gives you the statistics of your listening for the year.
Yes.
And it just got released. And I want you to guess how many minutes I've listened to the Front Bottoms this year.
Thousands.
Well, it's not a big surprise when you guess really high.
Just get on with it.
11,000,
11,000 minutes.
which is 8 days.
This is it, you see, by not buying records or CDs or recorded media of the Front Bottom.
I pay for my Spotify subscription. I stream their music. They get money from that,
That's
especially from 11,000 minutes.
fractions of a penny.
Yeah, but 11,000 minutes. And
Yes.
I paid for my ticket. It got refunded, but I paid for it.
Very well, dear.
Anyways, that's my update.
Yes. And so, what do you want to discuss?
Well, you want to continue discussing magical things.
Yes, we were going to continue that discussion, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I felt that we didn't really cover it well enough in the first discussion, and I wanted
Well,
I wanted to cover well what magic is and what magic isn't.
okay. I would love to hear it.
We would love to hear it. So, what is magic?
Are you asking me?
Oh, well, if you like, yes.
Oh, that's a loaded question.
That's magic. No, it's not. That's not magic. The thing is,
Um,
go on then.
I know what you're gonna say about it, and I feel like my answer's not that different, so I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Magic is not books of spells. It's not weird incantations. Uh, it's not turning lead into gold. It's much more subtle than that. But I do believe there is a magic that works, and it's a psychological type of magic, and it's you could almost call it a type of manifestation, whereby you can bring to you the things that you want, the things that you desire. And it's very simple. And it's based on a system that I first learned from the books of a chap called Phil Hine, who is a chaos magician. Now,
Hmm.
Phil Hine is,
First of all,
yes,
do you want to explain what chaos magic is to people that don't know?
I'd love to if I could. I'm about to give you a basic insight into it.
Okay.
Right? Chaos magic is a way of manifesting the things you want in the world, making them real, making them happen, making them appear, apparently. And it involves a simple system of deciding on what you want, thinking about it very intensely, convincing yourself that it's already there and you already own it, And then the chaos part comes in. And this is the difficult bit. You have to forget about it completely.
I didn't actually know that that was a part of it.
It seems, from my experience, it seems to work very well, almost too well.
Do you
I was,
do you have any examples?
yes, you know that lathe I'm working on at the moment, the Holbrook,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I've heard about it.
I was reading, I was reading about Holbrook lathes for probably 2 years before I got that one. And I was thinking, these are really nicely built machines. They're really, really solid, good British lathes. I'd really like to own one day, right? And then I completely forgot about it.
And then you bought one.
Yeah, and then one evening I went on Facebook Marketplace and there was a Holbrook lathe in Driffield, right? And I went and bought it, right? And I can give you lots and lots and lots of occasions where that's happened. I've thought
You
about
see,
it, I've desired it, I've really gone to town on, God, I really like one of those. And then I've sort of forgotten about it. And it's only when you forget about it that it happens. If you don't forget about it, if you constantly keep on going on about it, it won't happen.
like,
I think it's a partially subconscious mind thing. You
a
put
watch
the
pot never boils.
yeah, you put your desire into your subconscious, and somehow your subconscious triggers uh, things to happen in the universe. And I've done it so many times now that I'm thinking that old saying, "Be careful what you wish for," is true.
Wow.
So there you go.
Well, a skeptic would say that was just you thinking about wanting something and then buying something that you wanted.
It, I was at choice as to whether I bought it or not.
Hmm.
The thing that happened was it became available.
Yeah.
Right, that's the
How
magic.
long
I could have
how long
not to buy it.
how long was it between you thinking about it and it being available to buy?
Oh, probably several months
Okay,
at least.
that that makes it more believable because I was thinking if that's like 5 years apart, that's like just a
Let's just
coincidence. But several months is a short enough time for
yeah,
you to start thinking about something,
yeah,
stop thinking about something, and then it just appear. So
yeah.
I'm on board with this.
So you can see that it's a weird occurrence, and it's something you can say, well, that was magical, or you could say, well, no, that was just coincidence. Right?
Hmm.
To be not coincidence, it has to happen several times. Now,
Yeah.
let's just jump back to our first discussion and talk about dowsing for a second.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? How does dowsing work?
Um, I don't know. I believe people are inherently connected to the earth and nature.
Yes, and so do I. Because if you look at dowsing from the outside, apparently it's nonsensical, right? It's nonsensical, and yet people can do it, and people can repeat it time and time and time again. And I'll bring in now a chap from America called Mr. James Randi, the late Mr. James Randi, who was a very clever guy who I had a very brief email correspondence with over dowsing because
Yeah.
he put out $1 million challenge for anybody to prove to him that any form of extrasensory activity could work. And he said, if you can convince me that it works, I'll give you $1 million. And he deposited the $1 million in a supposedly escrow account waiting for somebody. But of course, he was very clever with this. And he said, you have to convince me that it works. So if you didn't convince him, you wouldn't get your money. But anyway, Mr. Randy came up with this little machine. And this little machine was a little tracked vehicle that he attached some dowsing rods to. Right? And he drove this round where all sorts of things were buried, pipelines, etc., were buried, and the little rods didn't move, didn't detect anything. And he said, there you are. I have proved that dowsing doesn't work. Right?
How?
By
That's just so not the scientific method, though, is it?
exactly. You've spotted it straight away. It is not the scientific method, because what Mr. Randy had actually proved was that little tracked robots can't douse. Right? He'd taken out the sensitive part behind the rods. It's the person behind the rods that does the dowsing.
Mm-hmm.
Rods are just the indicators. Right? It's like saying, oh, if I get your watch and take all the insides out of it and just leave the face and the hands, would it still tell the time? No, of course it won't. Because
That wouldn't be very nice.
it's the thing behind the watch that tells the time.
Mm-hmm.
The front is just an indicator. That's what the dowsing rods are. They're just indicators. You use the power of your subconscious mind to somehow sense the position of what you're looking for. And you move the rods, or at least your muscles, your muscle tension moves the rods. And you find what you're looking for. I've done it so many times. I know it works.
Yeah.
Right? And you can see the analogy there from the outside. American, you ask an American about dowsing, you say, oh, James Randi proved it doesn't work. But of course, as you spotted straight away, Mr. Randi didn't use the scientific method. But what Mr. Randi was a huckster. He was a stage magician.
What?
A huckster. Somebody who fools people, somebody who cons people, right? And because he'd made this $1 million claim, along with this proving that dowsing didn't work, there's now millions of people all around the world believe it doesn't work because James.
I actually think if I asked an American what they think of dowsing, they would not say that, and they would say, "What's dowsing?"
Well, the Americans, in the American West, it was used massively for probably 150 years to find water. But I mean, there's a book called De Rea Metallica, which is
I was gonna say, is it called water divining?
no, it's called
Because
De Rea Metallica. It's a medieval book, medieval
mm-hmm.
on dowsing, on finding water, on finding minerals, on finding metals buried in the ground. Right, and it was one of the early works on dowsing. So that's how long the people have been using it and finding it worked. Right. So when somebody says, look, I've disproved it, think very carefully about what he's done. But what I'm trying to illustrate is the difference between what most people believe to be true and what actually works. Right. And if you use something that doesn't appear to be magical at the outset, but yet produces results that seem to be magical, then you can rely on that method.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in grimoires and spells and incantations
I was gonna ask what you think of modern day witchcraft,
uh,
because there's a lot of people on the internet, specifically on TikTok, where most things people say they are things, I don't know,
I did.
happens.
You won't remember, but when I was recovering from cataract surgery, I went to Hull and did a.
When was this?
You won't remember. You won't remember because you weren't born.
Yeah, I
actually,
was gonna say I
because
don't.
I was at college in Hull when your mum rang me up and told me that she was pregnant, right? With you. Yes, with you. Yeah. So I was at this college and I was doing a website design course. And that in it, I
Mhm.
had to design a website. And
What?
I had to put it up and make it work, right? And I
That's crazy.
and the website, and the website was about modern witchcraft. So I researched the whole thing from beginning to end, right? A lot of which, I mean, a lot of which I already knew because having been involved with Leslie Wilkinson, Eleanora Boyce, or whatever she wants to be called, the late, unfortunately, Eleanora Boyce from Langtoft, uh, and sold her magazines at Glastonbury. I learned quite a lot from her, but also it's all documented. It's quite easy to find on the internet. I find no evil in modern witchcraft at all. There's no evil in it. It's not satanic. I mean, here's a little bit. Here we are. Here we go. Satanism. Right? If you're a Satanist, you're a Christian because
Yeah, because you believe in the Bible.
exactly. You're believing in a deity that's in the Bible. So you've got to be a Christian,
Hmm.
be a Satanist. Lots of people go from, unfortunately, a lot of people go from radical Christianity to radical witchcraft, right? Uh,
Yeah, I
and
guess if you're used to following a religion that
yeah,
closely,
yes,
like, and you're trying to reject your past values, the only way you know how to do it is by doing the opposite of what you already know.
exactly, right. But yes, I've done a lot of research on. I may still have a copy of that website on a yes on a, believe it or not, on a 3.5 inch floppy disk, right? But I think that's all I've got it on, and whether I don't even, yes, I have got a computer with a disk drive on it, with a floppy disk drive on it.
A website that's older than me.
Yes, the website that I designed that's older than you, and several other websites I designed as well. Uh,
Right. What I was gonna say
Go
is
ahead.
there's been kind of an internetification of witchcraft
Yes, yeah,
that I've observed,
yes.
where a lot of people seem to be into just different deviates. Is that a word? Did I just make that up?
Different
Deviates to
division.
mean like different, I don't know, but different types of witchcraft, like Wicca,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
people saying they're
There's,
pagan.
there's uh,
When it seems like all they do is say that online and put things in little bottles and sell them as spell jars.
I went to I went to one of the Oakleaf Circle pagan festivals at
Hmm.
I won't say where it was, but it was an Oakleaf pagan festival. And one year there was a chap there who,
Before this story, what would you say paganism is?
oh, paganism is a pantheistic religion where you worship many gods. Uh, Not Christian. Anything unchristian is pagan,
Hmm.
right? So,
It's very nature based.
well, Wicca could be seen as an offshoot of paganism,
Yeah.
um, but modern Wicca has almost completely relies its revival on one person whose name escapes me. Uh, it wasn't McGregor Mathers. It was somebody else he was a diplomat. He was an overseas diplomat for the British government, and when he more or less retired, he virtually created it. Modern witchcraft. This is in the 1940s, I think. I can't remember. I can't.
Hmm.
But paganism is a it's like a pantheistic nature worshipping religion, if you can call it a religion. It's not unlike Wicca. Uh,
No, I think Wicca is kind of a subset of it.
all this
It's Wicca is more specific.
all this witchcraft stuff about putting things in bottles and selling them is a really good way of making some money. But imagine you take what I call modern chaos magic,
Hmm.
and imagine you put intention on something.
Yeah.
You give something your thought and your concentration, and you put intention on it, and you really intend to make that thing happen. And then you do the chaos magic bit of completely ridding it from your mind and forgetting it. Then who is to say that you might not get a result?
Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't know. I feel like you need to be connected to the thing in some way, you know? I feel like it just doesn't work if you're selling it to a random
Oh no, of
person.
course it doesn't work if you're selling it to somebody random. It's you've got to be connected. You've got to
Yeah.
be involved in it in depth. You've got to take it to heart and believe it in the depth of your soul, and then forget about it. Let your subconscious mind work on it. I think that human beings are a lot more sensitive and a lot more talented and a lot more able than modern society would have us believe.
Yeah, I agree. I What do you think of curses?
Well, if you can manifest a reality for good, why should you not manifest a reality for evil?
Because I'm lovely and nice.
Well, yeah, because first of all, because it's an immoral thing to do.
Yeah,
And
but like, do you think it can be done?
uh, in my excuse me, in my experience, no.
Have you tried to like hex
No, no,
someone?
no, no, never. No, I wouldn't. Because of the risk that you have the evil reflected back on yourself. Nobody
Mm,
wants having good reflected back on themselves, but
exactly.
having evil reflected back on yourself is not a desirable outcome.
Precisely. Do you believe in karma?
Yeah.
Because I do in the way that I
Although
think,
sometimes it seems to take a long time to work.
yeah, if if you like put bad upon the world intentionally,
Hmm.
you will carry on doing that and eventually it will like backfire.
Yes, I agree with you. That's how I think about it. Because when you when you start to alienate yourself from the world, and gradually the number of people in the world who are against you grows in number, and sooner or later something bad is going to happen to you because of all those people that you've alienated, that you've
This goes out to all my enemies. Got bad coming.
yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, we got any enemies?
I've got several enemies, and you know them, but we're not going to mention them.
All right, okay, fair enough. I know them.
You know of them.
I know of them. Okay, okay.
Of course you do.
I'm not wearing this for effect, by the way. I'm wearing this because it's cold.
That's your wizard's cloak.
Uh, well, it's my fluffy, nice warm. It just keeps my knees warm. The rest of me,
I've got a blanket.
yeah, you've got a blanket of it. The rest of me is really warm, but my knees are now warm, bearably warm, because I sit with my knees under the desk.
Very cold. Is it snowing there?
Yes, it has snowed here.
It snowed here and it settled this morning. It's mostly gone now.
So much for global warming, eh? I can't remember having getting snow in November, and yet last 2 or 3 years we've got snow in November. So I'll tell you what,
For real.
pardon?
Um, what do you think of how many more questions actually?
You don't?
No, but what do you think of approaching magic in a scientific fashion?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please, absolutely. I think, look, look, if it works, it's physics, isn't
Yeah, but a lot of physics is. Am I allowed to swear on here?
it? No, no, don't swear. Oh, go on then.
Is no, I won't. Stupid and made up. Like, what the
You mean,
heck is a quark?
yes. Ah, right. Okay.
Every theoretical physics, every few years, they're just like, actually, this particle is made up of smaller particles. And everyone applauds. It says we've got 10 minutes left.
Yes, we've got 10 minutes left. Okay.
And it's just like philosophy. Not real. Not real.
You're,
Everyone's
you
thinking.
are, you are my daughter. You are truly my daughter.
Everyone is thinking all the time. Doesn't make you special to just say out loud what everyone else thought was obvious.
There are, I watched two people on the internet. I watched Unzicker's Real Physics. He is a very senior physics professor who lectures in Europe. He's German. And also I watched Sabine Hosfender, right? And she again is a physicist. And they both uh, they dislike particle physics. They don't go for quantum electrodynamics at all, and they say that physics has been led into a blind alley, right? And it's largely operates on snobbery and belief, and it's not producing any real science. But
What if they just ran out? What if they discovered it all?
they'll never run out of made up particles. They can always
Exactly.
you can
But
always
like the
find a
rest,
new you can always find a new phenomena and then create a new particle to explain how it works. A new particle with completely nonsensical attributes.
the rest of it, what if they just did it all already?
Yeah, exactly.
And if we got rid of not got rid of physics, but like if we didn't need physics anymore, the world would smell less of body odor. There were no physicians, that's not right. Physicists.
Physicists, yes.
No one to do physics degrees.
Why would
Um,
I'm sorry, why would the world smell less?
I'm just making a joke
All right, okay.
about people that do physics smell.
Uh
Sorry to anyone that does physics. Don't
physics
cancel me.
physics is a wonderful science. Theoretical physics,
Oh, I guess you are an engineer. Hmm.
yes, exactly.
My bad.
Physics, physics is a wonderful science, but theoretical physics, quantum electrodynamics, particle physics, right? Is
Can we
just
just add astrophysics as well? We don't need to know about that stuff.
well,
It's not here.
no, I think it's now I take your point there. I think it's very interesting, but how much effort and how many trillions of dollars and pounds and whatever have been spent on searching out what's in outer space instead of curing disease or doing something
Yeah,
practical on the planet.
literally
How much?
everything interesting is here.
Yes, it is absolutely. And we're never ever going to live anywhere else. We're never,
Anytime we
no,
send people up there, and
no,
I mean that hasn't happened in a while, but anytime we send the little robots, it's like there's rocks.
yeah. There's rocks,
Brill.
dust, there's no atmosphere.
Fantastic.
But the most important thing that there isn't is a magnetosphere. Human beings cannot
Okay.
exist on any planet without a magnetosphere because the magnetosphere captures the cosmic rays and reflects them away from the planet. So if there's no magnetosphere, you can't live on it because we get cooked by cosmic rays. End of story.
I'll take your word for it, pal.
Look it up.
No.
It's what they
I'm
say.
too
We're
busy.
all going to
I'm
go.
too
We're all
busy to
going to go.
do science outside of
Yeah.
my science degree.
Yeah, we're all going to go and colonize Mars. No, we're not, because there's no magnetosphere. Unless we can invent some shielding that works for cosmic rays, and it hasn't happened yet, then we can't live on any other planet but this one, because this one happens to have a very effective magnetosphere that reflects the cosmic rays, funnels them around, and puts them into the planet at the poles. And that keeps the planet warm. That's why Earth's core is not actually cooling. It's staying warm, because if this planet didn't have a hot core, it would be unsurvivable. It would be uninhabitable, is the word I wanted. So there you go. I have spoken. Right.
Philip has spoken.
And that was silly. Uh,
I liked it.
Shall we call it a day then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. We will end this recording here.
Thanks for watching, guys. Everyone like and subscribe and ring that bell. Also, if anyone has any suggestions for things to talk about,
Yeah, absolutely.
put
Absolutely.
them down below.
Yeah. Post below.
Everyone follow my TikTok. No, I'm joking. Don't.
Okay then. Bye bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye everybody.
Goodbye. Hello.